We got a new pretty big update for Borderlands 3 that is live right now and makes the slaughter shaft a little bit easier. It also increased the rate at which we can farm Captain Hans and way more. Plus we know a better time frame for the first story expansion. So let's get into it. Would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video as it shows your support. And let's go. Winter is when we can expect the first story expansion for Borderlands 3 that will be part of the season pass or sold separately. Of course, if you bought the special super deluxe edition of the game, you also have the season pass. This was confirmed during a 2K investor call, where they also announced that the game now sold 7 million units since the mid-September launch, so that's pretty huge indeed. Regarding the story expansion, I now think it will launch somewhere in January because winter starts on December 22nd and we normally don't see a big DLC pack around Christmas. So maybe we get the Mercenary Day Christmas event first that they already teased in a PlayStation blog article and then the paid DLC expansion. We should see the first footage though of this DLC in the upcoming Borderlands show in the week of November 18th. And they normally show content that then releases the month after, so still fingers crossed for that December release, but again they said winter during the investor meeting. Now let's look at some things that are going on right now. A new hotfix namely happened, so if you play the game online then you see these changes and they are pretty great. Starting with Captain Hans that now got a bigger shield. Like normally I would melt that shield with my Butcher and the Fade Away combo, but now I'm having a way harder time after this update. The regular health is still the same though, but this does make the fight a little bit longer and tougher, and now it's more important to destroy the things that make him immune even faster, because during this time he of course also recharges his shield. So you want to be able to damage him again as soon as possible. It's still a fairly easy boss, but they made him a little bit harder. Gearbox also notes that they dramatically increased the loot drop chance for Hans. Dennis and I now killed him a few times after this update and did not really see a difference. Like, it's still okay, they recently already increased the drop chance and made it much better, so it should be even better than that recent increase, but I'm not really seeing that. Of course, I'm curious to hear your experience, so drop it down in the comments below. Dennis did get the Fearmonger from him finally, and we will be giving that away in this video, so all you have to do is put your PSN in a comment under the pinned comment for a chance to win, and I will then mail the gun to one lucky winner that I randomly pick. It would of course be awesome if you are a subscriber of the channel before you participate. It's a pretty awesome shotgun. I will announce the winner in a future Borderlands 3 video. And Captain Catstavet won the Stalker Sniper from my previous video, and I will send you a friend request, and I've sent all the weapons to all the other winners already. So if you won, then you can check your mail because there's a weapon waiting for you. Going back to Hans, because we can now farm him more easily thanks to the increased number of hectoplasm that you get from the ghost in the main game. Like a regular green ghost give you 2 hectoplasm, taking out a badass ghost will now give you 3, and the loot ghost even drop 5. So this will really speed up the process a lot and can get you back into the hack hole in no time. In my latest hack hole run I actually encountered 2 loot ghosts, and they now also drop more loot in general after this update. I was lucky enough to get the Ghost Call again, and that's now also the thing. These loot ghosts now have an increased chance of dropping Bloody Harvest specific legendary gear, like the grenade, the shield and the 2 weapons. So that's really great. And you want to be in the new map before the terror items, and even after the update they actually increased the chance of terror loot from the Bloody Harvest event enemies, so now hack is an even better place to farm for a terror build. While they actually decreased the chance to get terror anointed parts from regular enemies. So it is still possible, but it will happen way less often. So really again, for the terror gear you want to go to hack. While in the main game we should actually now see more regular anointed gears, thank God. And interesting enough is that Gearbox is actually looking into a way to disable the current event for if you don't want a ghost in your game all the time, for example. So while we will not see this feature for the current Bloody Harvest event, it could only be something we see for future events, so that you can just choose to see the ghost or just play the game as it was at launch. It would be a great addition for sure. And speaking of the main game, where we can of course encounter these anointed enemies, especially on the Mayhem mode, Well, Gearbox made a pretty significant change to them, like they actually made them weaker, because they are now not immune to cryo damage anymore. And Gearbox notes that while they can be slowed, they cannot be completely frozen, but it's still great for certain builds that are all about the cryo elements, that you now finally do some damage against these pretty prominent enemies, especially on Mayhem 3. Another very welcome change is for the explosion effect from the badass enemies. Like, this would sometimes happen before the update, and especially in the Circle of Slaughter, where like many of these badass enemies are shooting with heavy weapons at you, it's sometimes very hard to see anything. So with this update, they made the explosion effect much quicker to reduce the screen clutter, and that really helps a ton, again, especially in the Slaughter Shaft, making the hardest challenge in the game a little more manageable. Other fixes include for explosive gunpowder barrels, where the effect would not show when you shot it, and for progression blockers in the It's Alive and Guns of Reliance missions. They did not fix the marking of items in the inventory that is currently broken on the PS4, but Gearbox noted on Twitter that is actually not something they can fix in a micro patch, aka a hotfix, but that it will instead be part of the November 21st update that also includes the Molly 1 takedown. So we need a little more patience for that. I'll of course keep you up to date here, so totally subscribe for everything Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. Got more awesome videos highlighting some more best weapons coming your way, and way more fun stuff. So again, totally subscribe, like the video to support channel, and totally check out my previous Borderlands 3 video on some other recent changes that were made. You can watch that one by clicking on the screen, or I will link to it at the end of our golden chest opening that Dennis and I always like to do at the end of a Borderlands 3 video. Dennis, what do you got for me?
A lot of legendaries.
Yeah.
So people who watch the stream might remember that I found a Lucian Skull, and I want to give that to you because I think it's better suited for flak because you need to get critical hits.
Sure.
And the other ones are two pretty laser exploders that one of them you can have, and I'll keep the other.
Yeah, and I will give one away because that's an awesome weapon we use a lot. We actually got a ton of questions about it, so thought it would be a cool weapon to give away in the future. I have, of course, no space, so I'm gonna give you this blue item, and then I will get the Lucian Skull. Okay?
Maybe that'll, since I picked up a blue item, maybe that will give me more luck here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Try it.
Oh, sure. Oh, it did actually. What is it? Another Stormfront. I think it's literally the exact same one I had, but still, it's a legendary.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I'm already happy though, because I already got some great stuff. Let's see if we actually got some other good items. I will just go back here and pick one of the laser exploders. You will see which one I picked, and we will give that one away in a future video. So totally subscribe for everything Borderlands 3, like the video to support the channel, and check out the previous video on some recent Borderlands 3 news. For now, we will speak to you next time, and goodbye.